Diamant here. With the launch of Ark Survival Ascended come a huge number of changes to the original base game. They're not all graphics focused, so I thought I'd make a quick video to point out some of my very favorite early game quality of life changes. Number one for me is going to be the way they reorganized the tech tree and engrams. If I go into the engram list here, you're going to notice the list is far more compact and easier to navigate, and there's a lot less clutter. One of the big reasons for it is they took a lot of the previous building tools and combined them into one engram. Like this here costs 3 engram points, but you're gonna get thatch walls and doorway structures. It gives you 4 or 5 different options, and it actually costs you less. So if I try to build, if I put a foundation down here, and then we try to put a wall up, you're gonna notice you get the regular thatch wall, and then if I hit R, it's gonna cycle through different types of doorways and a wall with a window. In the previous game, you would have had to spend engram points on every single one of those building structures. Now you don't have to do that, so it should enable a ton more options as far as choosing engrams as you level up on a single character. Number 2 is gonna be fuel timers on all of your consumables. Like this standing torch here, you're gonna notice if I put the fire out, it's telling me down at the bottom, I've got 1 hour and 53 minutes left of fuel. If I turn it back on, that's gonna run through its course. If I go in, all I have to do is keep putting wood in here, but at a glance, I'm gonna know if I need to refill that. It's the same thing for campfires and anything else that's building fuel. So just at a glance, you don't have to make any guesses or worry about it. It just tells you exactly how much time you have left. Number 3 for me is gonna be the more improved crosshair. You'll notice the crosshair in the center of the screen is white. It'll actually outline the hitbox for me. So if I'm trying to throw a bola, this is gonna tell me that I'm actually gonna be able to hit and that I'm aiming correctly. It'll also, if you give me a moment, let me go find this Bronto. Oh, actually, instead of a Bronto, we can just use this trike. You're gonna notice it just turns red. That's gonna let you know that the bola's not gonna work on that creature. So it's just a little quality of life improvement. It lets you actually have a good idea of what your hitboxes are, and it gives you an indication of whether you're aiming correctly. Tall grass will actually give you fiber at this point. It used to be in the original game, you would have to find bushes and they would give you a bunch of berries. We always had in the early game hard time actually collecting a whole ton of fiber. That's actually not the case anymore. If I can get into some tall grass, which should be right over here, I should be able to just collect a whole ton of fiber and not have to worry about a whole bunch of berries. And it just makes it a lot easier. If I just keep holding this down, there's a bunch of fiber points spread out all over the ground here, and I should get about 30 to 40. Just makes the early game a lot easier because everything asks for fiber, and they don't give you any tools until you get to level 30 and you can actually get the metal sickle. The next on the list is going to be the improved drops. You're going to notice we've got a green drop here, and when I open it up, this loot is far better than what you would have gotten in the base game, and on average, this is the kind of stuff that you'll get. Obviously, you're not gonna get purple every single time, but this is way better. You used to get nothing but junk in the base game. This, you actually get something useful. Trank arrows at this level, I think right now I'm level 18, is before I can even get them, so thank God they've actually improved the loot drops here. The last item I'll bring up is a small change, but one that I really like. It's gonna be some of the item sort features, search and sort features they've actually implemented. Down at the bottom of a lot of these containers, you're gonna have a little sort function here. If I want to just go with, let's say, consumables, I can sort out everything else from the list. If I wanna go just resources, I can go from there. It doesn't matter when I'm using just a small storage box with 15 items in there, but when we start getting into much larger with 60, 70, 80, or what some of these mods are actually gonna start providing, this is just gonna be a lifesaver. You can actually just have a chest where you can just dump all your stuff into and then be able to actually easily search and navigate through that chest and find items later on. So it's just a really small thing, but it'll add up over time with just the amount of convenience that that gives you. Alright guys, well that's just a list of some of my favorite changes in Ark Survival Ascended. If you've got any others, let me know. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.